Welcome to my channel. My name is Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I also offer spiritual guidance for personal growth, self-development. And so in this video, I really want to talk about some really important steps when you are starting your personal growth journey and self-discovery journey and self-development and all of that. These steps are really important to kind of know and understand. And so I will be getting into all of that in this video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you align with my energy and you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit the post notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Most important thing to know and understand when you're starting kind of your self-development, self-discovery, or really like working on personal growth in general is having the understanding, your environment matters, who you're with, how you live, who's in your home. It's very hard to, and I'm speaking from personal experience, it's very hard to kind of work on yourself, raise your vibration, raise your frequency when you're constantly being consumed with other people. I was in toxic relationships. It was really hard for me to like focus on my energy because you're constantly being depleted when you're constantly consumed of what they need, what they want, how they're going to feel. You can't really sit with yourself. You can't hear yourself think. You can't just focus on your energy and raising your vibration, because as soon as you do, you're met with another experience or situation that happens. Hard to kind of just focus on yourself and your energy and raising your vibration when you're not in the right environment. And I think that's really important to understand. Now, I think you absolutely can, like every situation is different, but I think that it is really important to just pay attention to, who you're surrounding yourself with, be mindful of your environment and the company that you keep, because it can affect your energy and it can affect your personal growth process. Another thing that I think is really important is understanding that you create your reality and that your external world, environment, and experience is all a reflection of your internal world. And so your words have vibration, your thoughts have vibration. And when you can really be mindful of your self-talk, the words that you're saying and the thoughts that you're thinking, and you can kind of shift them and change them, you start to see changes eventually. You really do start to have a different external experience. Really truly have to heal inside to start to see and make those changes. Like, you really have to take time with just being alone and being with yourself, or however even that looks like for you, because we're all different. I know for me, I really had to have that alone time. I think we're always on a healing journey. I think we're always growing. I think if we ever think that we've reach the end of our healing journey, or we know everything, or, I can't have any more growth, I think we're like not really, we're doing ourselves a disservice, because I think there's always room for growth. There's always room for personal growth, external growth, inner growth. We're always healing. We're always on a journey, healing from something. And so I think that that's really important to understand too, is that, your external reality is a reflection of your internal world. Taking the time for yourself, getting to know yourself, especially if you're leaving a toxic relationship. I think this is really important to really just have that alone time, spend that time on yourself, get to know yourself again, because when we leave toxic relationships, we don't even know who we are. We don't know what we like. We don't know, and depending on the relationship, because you're so consumed with the other person. And so when you're starting your personal growth journey, giving yourself the time you need to heal is so important. Start journaling, start meditating, start kind of figuring out what you need, what you want, what you desire. Oh my gosh, there's a fruit fly. What you desire. And I love journaling. And if you struggle with childhood trauma or anything, I actually started a journal to my inner child. You may find that this helps you. You can actually start writing letters to the younger version of yourself. This can really help with your healing journey from overcoming trauma. If you went through a situation or experience that really left you feeling hurt or angry, you can write yourself a letter. Just, where you're validating your feelings and emotions back then, especially if you were a child that wasn't validated, that felt like you were not heard, writing letters to your younger version of yourself can really help you with this healing process. Another thing that really helps is your daily affirmations, saying your affirmations every single day. And that can look like whatever you truly need. If you struggle with feeling loved, feeling worthy, you can say, I am worthy. And I think that a lot of people expect these affirmations to work after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. This is something you have to be consistent with. You have to say it every single day. And eventually you will start to feel that way. Eventually you will start to feel worthy. You will start to feel loved and happy. You just have to really give yourself the time. This doesn't happen. I think in our society, in our world nowadays, we get so stuck on instant gratification. And when we're really on a healing journey and we really want personal growth, we have to understand that it does take time. It does take consistency, and you have to really be dedicated to yourself, commit to yourself, to your journey. I think that is so important. I've already kind of touched on getting to know yourself, but you really want to get to know yourself on a new level. Start to pay attention to your body, what you can eat, what you can't eat, because how you feel and what you're feeding yourself with all of your senses is so important for your journey, for your healing journey, for your personal growth. What you're eating, what you're watching, what you're listening to, who you're surrounding yourself with. This is all extremely important for your journey. If you are watching shows or crime documentaries and you know that they leave you feeling a certain type of way, they lower your vibration and frequency, limit yourself to those documentaries. Start watching, documentaries that are uplifting, or watch series that are uplifting. We have to start to be mindful of what we are feeding ourselves in all of our senses, even what you're listening to, the music you're listening to, the conversations that you're having, the people you're surrounding yourself with. You really have to start being mindful of all of this, because this is going to affect your energy, which is going to make the process, it's going to prolong the process. So it's really important to have that awareness and be mindful. Overall, what you really want to start to do is start taking action to really build this healthy sense of self. Start to trust yourself, start to love yourself, start to be happy with who you are, what you need, start to understand what you need and get to know what you need and what you want, and really just dedicate yourself to getting to know who you are. And I think this is so important when you are starting your personal growth journey, your self-development journey, when you're really starting to focus on your energy, raise your vibration, and you really want to be happy. I think a lot of us struggle, and I think a lot of us just too don't know how. And so hopefully you find that the information in this video kind of gives you the first few steps and ideas of what to do, that are really important when you're starting this personal growth journey, and things to be aware of and mindful of, and that you really do need to just dedicate yourself to yourself. That's not being selfish. That is loving yourself, and that is okay. And I think that a lot of us are kind of programmed in childhood and just from society that when we focus too much on ourselves, we're being selfish, and where there is a fine line, where it all depends on your intentions. When you're not hurting anybody, you're not saying anything to hurt anybody, and your intention really is just to take care of yourself and fill your own cup up, that's not being selfish. You can't take care of anybody, even your children, if you're not taking care of yourself. And I do think in society, and we have programs where we're kind of taught and conditioned that we should put everybody else before ourselves and not necessarily take care of ourselves first. And I don't agree with that. I think we need to take care of ourselves. You need to learn how to fill up your own cup and, to truly be happy. And then you can, help others. And if we're talking about adults, we shouldn't be taking care of other adults anyways, if they're not your children. And that's another thing too, is understanding that, your emotions are yours, and how other people feel is not on you. It's not on you. It's on them. And so, of course, as long as you're not saying or doing anything to hurt anybody, but if you have to create a boundary and you have to say no, and somebody else doesn't like that, that's on them. That's not on you. And so I really hope that this video helps with these first few steps towards your personal growth journey. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will connect with you in the next